hit him. Bro got on the I'm a patsy fit. Okay, first of all, he looks good. I don't know why people are shitting on him. I don't know why people are shitting on him. I like the sartorial choice. He looks like a nice, handsome, young lad. Okay? Which he is. He's a nice, handsome, young lad. And also he's innocent. And I think they should just basically let him go. Okay? Just going to point that out. They should let him go. Because innocent until proven guilty means he's innocent. He hasn't been proven guilty yet. He did nothing wrong. You don't know he did that. He's innocent. He would never do that. I know Luigi. Free Luigi. He's not the type of guy. He wouldn't even hurt a fly. Okay?
How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Look at the way he said that. That's right. If he was guilty, he would have said it. If he was guilty, he would have said it. Also, why are there 4 cops behind him like this? Let me replay that. Let's replay that. Case closed.
In the first degree and other related charges. How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Yeah, no, he's not guilty. He said it right there. Not guilty. Also, what has happened? Is this normal? Am I, maybe I'm not aware of this, but like, is this normal? I feel like they're going to put the Hannibal Lecter thing on his head. You know what I mean? Like every single time I see this motherfucker, he is surrounded by cops. Like he is a super villain, dude. Why are there 4 cops on him? Do they think that he's just like a John Wick style guy? Like he's just going to use the pen to execute people in the courtroom? Like what the fuck is going on? This man, he can turn everything in his vicinity into a weapon. There are CEOs in this room as well. If there is a CEO anywhere near him, he will kill them. Like I don't understand. Like actually, what do you think about his lawyers? With lawyers, with defense attorneys, the bigger the piece of shit they are, the better it is. And through transitive property, like her husband is Diddy's lawyer. So automatically I assume that this is a family of like piece of shit defense attorneys. So I'm always on board. You know what I mean? For defense, you have to be a scumbag. Okay. And I think like, considering that her husband is literally Diddy's lawyer, I would assume that they're, you know, I would assume that she's also a scumbag too. So that's a good thing. It's a benefit. Isn't the judge's husband a former Pfizer executive? Yeah. I have heard that the judge is presiding over the Luigi Mangione case is married to a former Pfizer executive. More about the judge here. It is a unique situation. In this case, the prosecutors might be bigger scumbags. Yeah, but Alvin Bragg is an incompetent scumbag, it seems. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But you really do want a defense attorney to be a piece of shit, like a real slime bag. You know what I mean? You want that. Get him off on technicalities, whatever it takes. You know what I mean?
Your Honor, we have a copy of the indictment, notice of immigration consequences, as well as rap sheet. I believe the court has it. We give the court an extra copy and one to counsel. Does the court wish that we be heard with respect to bail? Well, what is the situation?
There's also some good points that Luigi's lawyer brought up as well, the defense attorney on this case, like in terms of all of these like extraneous circumstances, like the mayor of New York using the perp walk as a political opportunity to basically declare him a terrorist before the trial is over. Like it's crazy. Anyway, we'll see.
As we understand that we have primary jurisdiction, and we have been informed by the U.S. attorney that they intend on allowing us to try our case first. So with respect to whatever goes on there, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the trial and the sentencing will take place here prior to anything that takes place in the federal system.
Yeah, the burden of proof is also on the prosecution, you mean, rather than the defense. The prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did the crime, and all the media has been doing is working to undermine that. Yeah, they're basically setting it up so that like everyone that's in that jury already has a well-established bias against our boy Luigi Mangione, which will already happen. That bias is already baked in because he's Italian, and we all know Italians are not white. You're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers, okay? And Luigi Mangione stands alone in American society, peerless. Who amongst us, mere mortals, could ever actually match up and be a peer to the likes of Luigi Mangione?
It says that we're going to return the defendant to federal custody. So I think that would be step two. I do think that logically, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the custody should be here, but I ask the court, in light of the court signing the writ indicating that we would return him to federal custody, that be done at a later time.
I'm not gonna lie, even this many cops on a person who's like not a risk to literally anyone is already massaging public sentiment in general, because it's like you're making it seem as though he is this like devastating serial killer. You know what I mean? Like this motherfucker killed one CEO allegedly. We don't even know. Okay, we don't even know if he did it. We don't even know if he's guilty. But like even then, I understand why you would have this many cops on like, I don't know, like a incredibly violent serial killer or some shit. Right? Like I get it. Sometimes you're worried that like, especially if you have like a sociopathic, bloodthirsty criminal or whatever, you might need to do that in an effort to make sure that they can be apprehended if they step out of line or if they do something crazy or whatever. But like this is not the case. Like you can't do that. And I feel like the defense is already heightening that juxtaposition, heightening that contradiction here by putting him in a nice little merino wool sweater with a shirt underneath it. You know what I mean? Like he's just like a handsome young white boy. So you can't really do that. It would be much harder to play to the crowd and showcase that this is a bright-eyed young boy with his future ahead of him if there's like pre-existing biases, but you can't really do that for him. He's just a chill guy, you know?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to make a record, if that's okay with Your Honor. First, we'd request immediate, expedited discovery in this case. The people have had this case for about almost 3 weeks, and that's more than enough time to gather as much information as they can give to us, especially now that we have two proceedings that we have to answer to, one of them being death eligible. So we are requesting that we get immediate discovery of the New York City Police Department and FBI and federal and state documents. And the second thing I want to make a record of, Your Honor, is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they're literally treating him like he...
Cook them. She's right. They are massaging the public's opinion on her client. This dog and pony show cannot go on. Every goddamn American has a right to a fair and free trial in this country. Let him go. Let him go. Mistrial. I'm calling it. I am declaring it a mistrial right now. This is a kangaroo court.
He is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea was in their arsenal. And to have all of these, the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows,
what's ironic, of course, is that like the New York City mayor already guilty. The New York City mayor. I mean, actually, I don't know. Did his trial go through already? No, he's still being. I think he's indicted. He was already indicted. Luigi Mangione hasn't even been indicted yet at that point. He hasn't even pled not guilty, and he is dead to rights. He is guilty. He is guilty as Okay, I'll say it. He's guilty. Luigi, we don't know. We don't know if he is.
Under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has held it to be clearly established that the staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is